So I wasn't planning on doing a drawing video, but once I started, I realized it'd be pretty fun to make a video like this. Which is why in the beginning of this, you can see that the drawing is almost done. But I had the idea of creating a hybrid character who is a mix of a Kryptonian and a Saiyan, or a Crypto Saiyan as I like to call him. I don't usually draw human characters, as you can see right there in my other sketchbook. I almost all the time draw animals. But when I do draw people or human-like characters, I don't give them faces because I'm still trying to work on that when it comes to my drawings. And as you can see, I still have trouble drawing arms. Basically, human anatomy is hard for me to draw. Also horses. Horses are hard for me to draw too. You ever try to draw a horse? It's so many muscles. But anyways, I won't be talking over this entire video. Well, I will, but I'll put some music in the background and I'll come in at different parts to explain my inspiration and stuff like that. So, without further ado, enjoy.
This is that once in a lifetime.
So about a few months ago, I got a drawing tablet, and I'm only just now starting to learn how to use it. For those interested, it's a Wacom One tablet, or a Wacom One tablet. Now, I'm not that good at digital art, as you'll soon see in the video. I still need to work on how to use shadows and improve the way that I shade things. This was more of me getting used to drawing with the stylus and figuring out how things work in the program. I'm using Clip Studio Paint, by the way, for those who are interested, and I know I'm gonna go through like a billion tutorial videos on how to properly shade and color things because I really need the help. So, a little backstory on how this idea came to be. I've been recently watching Superman Lois and have also been catching up on the Dragonball Super manga, and at some point these two worlds kind of collided. I've also been rewatching Dragon Ball GT, which is one of my guilty pleasures, and it's one of the first anime I've ever seen. I loved it back in 2012 when it aired on Nicktoons, and in all honesty, I'm not sure if it's the nostalgia or what, but I'm loving it today too. I bought the complete series some time ago, and I'm only just now getting to it since I was catching up on a bunch of other anime and TV shows and movies that I was trying to watch before. Going into it again, I only remember a few things like the Shadow Dragons, Baby, and of course the obvious Super Saiyan 4. The very first anime I ever watched was Yu-Gi-Oh!, Sonic X, and Dragon Ball Z Kai because they all used to come on Saturday morning on CW4Kids, which was a program block that came on around like 6, 7, or 8 in the morning to 12 p.m. during the weekends on the CW, where they'd air cartoons like Spectacular Spider-Man, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Sonic X, Dragon Ball Z, Dinosaur King, that was a on again, off again show for me. I mean, I could never fully get into it, but I could never get myself to stop watching. They also aired, I think, Johnny Test, Wings Club, which I watched in secret because I didn't want to get made fun of for watching a show that was generally targeted towards little girls. Even though I watch Bratz with my sister sometimes. Static Shock, who I forgot to mention in my Heroes Who Made Me video. 2008's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was the Ninja Turtles I grew up with, which spun off into a show where they went into the future. Crazy, but I liked it. I remember watching a Kirby show, as well, and a show about a skunk who knew Kung Fu. Like Skunk Fu, I think it was called. I don't know. But Dragon Ball Z Kai was my introduction to the world of Dragon Ball. I didn't watch all of it, and once I realized that I really enjoyed the show, CW4Kids, which I think they changed it to Vortex, was ending. Luckily though, Nicktoons, for whatever reason, started airing the episodes, and later on they started airing GT. And this was my favorite show at the time, alongside Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, which was also airing then. But it was hard for me to find other Ben 10 fans because either I just didn't know the right people, or they didn't want to admit that they still watched cartoons, even though we were like in 7th grade. God forbid they found out you watched Adventure Time, because then you'd be seen as a baby. You know how like kids are, like apparently when you hit 12 or 13, according to them, you have to stop watching cartoons and start watching real stuff like anime, even though that's still animation. It's still in the same kind of wheelhouse. That actually happened to me once. One of my friends who watched Ben 10 just stopped one day because he got a year older. I remember referencing something that happened in the Ben 10 Generator Rex crossover, and he said he didn't watch cartoons anymore because they were for kids, even though we were like 12 at the time. I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't as hard to find fans of Dragon Ball because, well, it's an anime. Those are fireworks going off outside of my house. I don't know if you can hear that. And also, my cats are playing behind me. I don't know if you can hear that. But, I was the Ben 10 kid from 7th to 8th grade because I'd always draw Ben 10 characters in my notebook, or I'd always talk about it, and whenever we had free time, I'd go to Cartoon Network's website and go straight to the Ben 10 stuff. Yeah, there were a few friends I had who watched the show, but we never really bonded over it. The Dragon Ball franchise is what would sometimes get me out of my shell and make friends. I don't know if there are different intros in different countries or what, but the opening to GT that I got, that I saw initially, was, it wasn't the Falling Under Your Spell song. It was a rap metal song called Step Into the Grand Tour. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't still listen to it on repeat today. As much as I love it though, I mean, yeah, it does have its flaws. I feel like different people have different reasons as to why they don't like GT. In my opinion, the pacing at the beginning of some arcs is pretty slow. When Dr. Gero and Mew teamed up to bring back all the enemies from Hell, that could have led to some fun interactions, but it really didn't. Pan can be annoying and Giru can be irritating, but besides all that stuff, I loved it. I remember drawing Dragon Ball characters with my friends and drooling over how cool Super Saiyan 4 looked. I also remember my friend introducing me to hentai. I really wish I didn't, but that memory is still there for some reason. There was also the occasional who would win a fight between Goku and Superman. Speaking of Superman, I wasn't a big fan of Superman until about a couple or maybe like a few years ago. When I was little, I always thought it was kind of boring that Superman could just do just about anything, which was very hypocritical since one of my favorite superheroes back then and still is today, Ben 10, who has every superpower under the sun and then some. I knew more about Krypto the Superdog, more than I knew about Superman himself, and I'd eventually learn more about Supergirl before I knew Superman. Now, before I was into the character, I saw some episodes of Justice League Unlimited. I used to watch Smallville, and I saw before I saw it like 3 other times. I saw Man of Steel, and at the time, I was starting to get into comic books. New 52 was going on, and that kind of got me interested. But I like to think that the Supergirl TV show was my first proper introduction to the character of Superman. Tyler Hoechlin's Superman was the one who got me into the character. Besides Henry Cavill and Tom Welling, I had my first connection with Tyler Superman, and although at first I wasn't sure whether I just enjoyed the performance, I realized it was both the performance and the character. He'd also, of course, go on to have appearances in Supergirl. He showed up in the Elseworlds and Crisis on Infinite Earths crossovers, and eventually Superman and Lois, which is the best TV show on the CW alongside Stargirl, at least at this point in time. The Kingdom Come symbol is my favorite Superman symbol, so I gave him that one, which was the first thing I thought of when thinking about this design. I also gave him the Minato hairstyle, so maybe he knows some ninjutsu, I don't know. I just really like that hair design, so I gave it to him. Most Saiyans are named after vegetables. Kakarot, carrot, radish, cauliflower, Vegeta vegetable, and etc. But I thought about it like really hard, and I realized that I don't have a favorite vegetable, but one of my favorite fruits is the blood orange. So this character's name is Renji Bordo, which is basically blood orange backwards. So his name is Orange Blood. I mean, technically, I moved the O, so his name is Range O Blood. But then I realized the only Kryptonian thing I gave him besides the powers and I guess the symbol was the name. I didn't give him a Kryptonian name, so I looked up the Kryptonian name quiz, clicked on the first thing I saw, and got the House of Ranvan. So meet Renji Ranvan. I gave him his human name, Keegan Orange. Keegan meaning fiery in Irish. His superhero alias, Super Saiyan. Get it? That's creative, right? He's 40% Saiyan, 40% Kryptonian, and 20% human. His powers include biological enhancement, which is basically super strength, super speed, endurance, agility. He has radiation and heat absorption, heat vision, flight, energy manipulation, phasing, or intangibility. Although with all these powers and skills, he does have weaknesses as well. That 20% of his DNA that's human is what separates him from other Kryptonians, as his skin isn't bulletproof. And pulling on his tail hard enough could immobilize him. The phasing ability I gave him just to set him apart and give him more of a difference. But I also came across the idea that with this ability to absorb radiation, he's able to absorb kryptonite, giving him the appearance and strength resembling that of a legendary Saiyan. Although the more he absorbs, the faster it kills him. So that is that. My Kryptonian Saiyan hybrid, Renji Ranvan, also known as Keegan Orange, also known as the Super Saiyan. I honestly was just gonna make a video where I drew the character and threw some music in the background, and that would be that. But I figured that would be pretty boring, so sit through and watch. So why not go in depth on where this design came from, which led me to the idea of this rambling video where I talk about my history with Dragon Ball and the character of Superman. Again, I obviously need to improve my digital art skills with shading and everything like that, but this was a really fun video to make. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like if you want. Have a nice week, and I'll see you when I see you. Take care.